Hey, what's up everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to Karpo Gaming and another Diablo 4 video. Well, it is build time. That's right. I finally got my build. I leveled up my Sorceress and today I'm going to show you this amazing magical tank build. Like legit, I'm not taking no damage from ads and that's what you're going to get with this build. It is so good. Not only are you really fast and really dodgy, you can also face tank large groups of ads, which means when the full game comes out, this is going to be awesome for farming. Legit, I mean, literally, check this out. Look at this damage. Look at me thinking no damage. This build is absolutely fantastic. And I'll show you exactly what I did and how you can build this thing so you can try it out during this access and during the open beta as well. I mean, check this out. Look at these bosses just getting melted. Of course, you can do this solo. You can be playing with friends. You're going to have an amazing time with this build. And on top of it, it's a whole lot of fun. You can literally take a slap from Asheva and survive it. You can stand in the pools of poison and it just tickles you. This build is so good. Let's go. Let's get started with this amazing magical tank build. Now, of course, we're going to start off with our lovely items. I want you to see I have plenty of different legendaries here, but a lot of these just don't synergize with my build. So if you see me with some non-legendary pieces, it is because, hey, they just work out a whole lot better. Especially like this legendary amulet, not going to be rocking out. Now let's get started. Now, when it comes to the build, we're going to start off with our gear and our hammer. We got the Watchful Offer Hammer, 329 item power, 411 on the armor, 4% cooldown reduction, 11% fire resistance, 15% poison resistance, and some barrier generation. The chest piece will have poison resistance, fire damage, and regular damage. On top of that, a nice little gem plugged into it for 5% extra maximum life. So it's turning out to be a really good resistance build, and you're going to notice it too. We have some legendary gloves, and here's the thing, 2% lucky hit chance, the chain lightning damage, we're not even using that, so this build could just be so much better with a lot of these pieces. 10% willpower, 2.5% attack speed, and distance enemies will be stunned, 15% chance for that to happen for 2 seconds, and when they do, you get 30% extra damage. So that's why we got these gloves. Plenty to choose from. Those are the best ones that I'm using. Now we do have our lovely pants. We got some nice ball lightning effect. We're not using it. So like I said, this build could be so much better because, you know, you get what you get. 14% excellence on that intelligence, and that's extremely important. 30% on the willpower, and we have 2.4% damage reduction and awesomeness. This right here at the bottom, you heal for 9.2 life when close enemies are around, and you just constantly going to get your health back, which is cool. Now the boots, we're going to get to that a little bit later because I'll show you exactly what I mean by swapping them in and out depending on what you are doing, so you can get the extra little dodge effect, which is really cool. The weapon is going to be pretty much standard. Using this for the raw damage, the high intelligence, overpowered damage, and look, ice shards, we're not going to be using it. Plus 15 to all stats, which is excellent, and a little bit of crowd control damage. But our rings is really good. We also have 2 different item slots that we plugging in on this. And look at the resistance, cold resistance, lightning resistance. We have maximum mana, which is always good because we need a lot of mana. We have life, lucky hit chance, damage to close enemies, and also right here at the bottom, which is important, we have an 8% increased dodge chance versus enemies affected by damage over time. We dodge against 7 of your primary resources and even more poison resistance. Our next ring, lightning resistance, poison resistance, barrier regeneration while not damaged, which is awesome. We also have lightning resistance, damage to close enemies, and chain lightning. Once again, we're not using that. Then we plugged in a gem for more fire resistance. I'm building this like I'm playing a real game, even though it's beta. Now, when it comes to our amulet, like I have plenty of legendary versions of these, but this one is just better. We have a higher resistance to all elements, 6% mana cost reduction, which is awesome. Plus 1 ring to all defensive skills, so our ice armor is going to have an extra bump right there. 3.5 damage reduction from close enemies, and then I plugged in a full skull for extra armor. Now, about these boots, there's one key item on this boot that is just awesome. That is evade briefly grants 40% movement speed. You want this on your sorcerer so you can just dodge out an enemy attack. It is extremely important. I've been playing around with it. I wish my other boots that has higher armor have this, so I've been swatching in and out depending on when I fight Ashivar or a boss, like, you know, that den boss where you need to get away from them. It's going to help out a lot, so just try to look out for that. It is extremely important if you want to move extremely fast. Now for our stats: strength 52, intelligence 114, which is going to increase our skill damage and also our resistance to elements. Sorry, so all this is going to stack. Willpower 72, dexterity 50. High intelligence is really key to this build. We also have our weapon damage, speed damage, attack bonuses, critical strike chance, and damage overpower chance, and overpower damage at 93. So whenever we cast our ability and they do get a little bit of overpower, it's going to hit them really, really hard. 20% extra vulnerable damage, always good. 3% extra damage straight across. We also have damage versus crowd controlled enemies, which we will be doing, 15.7%. We also have damage versus close enemies, 13.7%. Damage with fire, which we're going to be using a lot, 4.5%. Damage with lightning, 3.8%. And thorns, which is really good, but we're not going to be using any of this because we're going to be at a distance. We really don't want enemies around us, but we can, you know, kind of face tank the regular ads, just saying. All right, now for our maximum life, we have 487. We got 5 potions. Life regeneration at 10. Our armor is at 1,826. A little bit of extra armor goes a long way. Armor condition is at 50%, 1.3 dodge chance. Barrier bonus 9.4. Fire resistance, and this is really, really important, 35.4%. And you're going to see a lot of these resistances, and we're going to get a huge boost because of our bonuses, like one of our skills. We're going to boost resistance by 6%. We'll get to that later, though. We'll get to that later. Let's keep moving on. Cold resistance 32. Lightning resistance 44. Remember, all of this is going to jump up when we're playing. Poison resistance 64.9. This is why we can just stand in Ashivar's poison pools and not even worry about it. It's just going to tickle us. And damage reduction. Maximum mana 116. Mana cost reduction 6%. Mana regeneration is at 10. Maximum movement speed 100%. Cooldown reduction 4%. And lucky hit chance 4%. Look, it's OP. It really is. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit different from a lot of people other builds. Let's start off with our lovely basic skills. We're going to be using our frost attack, right? We're going to be using frostbolt. That's where we're going to plug in our first point. Our second point we're going to plug in is going to be the enhanced frostbolt, and then we're going to go with glinting frostbolt. So those are going to be our first 3 points. After that, we're going to come down into the tree, and a lot of people put points into their core skills, which they are really good. I tried them all out and they're good, but we're not going to be using that. No. I know, no core skills. What are you doing? Trust me, it's good. We're going to go with potent warning. After casting a non-basic skill, you gain 6% resistance to all elements and 3% additional resistance to that skill element for 3 seconds. Since we always casting, it's always up, and all of those numbers that we just went over, they're just going to jump, especially with the extra pieces. They give us extra resistances. We also went with devastation up to rank 3, increase our maximum mana all the way up to 9. So with this and this, no core skills, but we're getting resistances and we're getting a lot of mana. Let's move on to our defensive skills. We have ice armor. This is going to be extremely important because we're going to get a lot of mana regeneration when we cast this, and of course it's going to absorb a lot of damage. And then we're going to plug in one more point, right? One more point into our next available skill, which is enhanced ice armor. But you see the ice armor sitting at 3. That's because of all of our stats. We're going to get 2 extra free points into that skill, which is pretty cool. And then we finally come down all the way over here to our conjuration skill, and this was the build is all about. That Hydra. When you finally get here, you're going to max out the Hydra. Hydra is always going to be up, always doing damage, always attacking enemies from all angles. It is extremely important, and this is awesome. We're going to have an extra Hydra head. You're going to get extra burn damage. We have enhanced Hydra. So, boom, we're going to plug 1 point into there. Then 1 more point into summon Hydra. Alright, so we have maxed out Hydra, and that's really what our build is going to be situated around. Always keeping that up, and you can always keep it up. Now, no core skills, but we're going to be using a lot of mastery skills. So we won't be using any core skills, but we will be using a lot of our mastery skills. In replacement of that, we're going to be using our lovely Blizzard instead of our Frozen Orb or Ice Shards or Fireball. That's going to be essential. This is going to slow enemies down, give them damage over time effect, chill them, and then also freeze them as well if they stand in it. And in between that and the fire coming at them, they just melt. So we're just going to be putting 1 point into that, and then 1 point into Enhanced Blizzard. So extra 25% damage to frozen enemies, and they do freeze quite often. We are going to plug the 1 point into Meteor, and then we're going to make sure you use this and put this into your enhancement slot. We're not going to be putting this into our regular skills. It's always going to be passive. Whenever we use our magic, we have a nice lucky chance for that meteor to come down and do extra damage. So make sure you put it in that enhancement slot. All right, so just 1 point into that, and now we have our firewall, baby. Let's go. I love this in every Diablo, and it is back, and it is awesome. Look at that damage, 900 damage. We're going to put down these firewalls. We're going to be getting mana back as well as increased damage if they stand in a firewall. It is nice. For our modifiers, 25% extra increased damage to enemies standing in a firewall. You're going to gain 5% extra increased mana regeneration per active firewall, up to 25%. Each time enemy take burning damage, it's just going to keep stacking. We got enhanced firewall. We're going to plug 1 point into that and 1 point into Wizard's firewall as well. So yeah, this is awesome. Our last point, which is actually going to be our 26th point, is going to go into Fiery Surge. Killing a burning enemy increases your mana regeneration for 10% for 3 seconds. And since we're going to be killing with a lot of fire, there's even more mana regeneration. You can get this extra bonus from your Fractured Peaks just doing your lovely progress. So make sure you get that extra point. Now, all of this is going to be put together into an amazing build. This is what I'm talking about. Let me showcase this to you right now. We're going to first start off with our Hydra, right? We're going to cast that first. You're going to be putting down the firewall. Now, whenever you want to get your mana regeneration back, or you want to just absorb some damage if enemies too close, we're going to pop our lovely Ice Shield, which will boost our mana regeneration. And then, you know, you don't really even have to attack. The Hydra is going to be doing most of the work. You're going to throw down our Blizzard, which is going to slow them down inside the fire, and once they come towards us, we're going to put down that firewall, and they're just going to walk right into the damage. Here's another perfect example right here. This guy comes out, we're going to hit him with that Hydra from behind. He's sitting in the ice. He has to stand in the ice, so he's chilled, and now he's frozen, which means he's going to get extra damage from everything. And then our mana regeneration is just going to come back as well. This build is nice, I'm not gonna lie. I have so much fun with this too. It's fun, it's tanky, and you are just going to decimate enemies. Asheva, not even a problem, dude. I was able to take this guy down last night, of course, with the help of the server, but there wasn't a lot of 25s around, bro. So look, this build is really OP. You still got time to play with it right now. If you are a sorcerer, trust me, check this build out. It is probably one of the best builds I've put together in all of the Diablo games. And hopefully it helped you out today. But for right now, that's pretty much going to for the video. I hope you truly enjoyed it. As always, if you are new to the channel, how you doing? And welcome. Don't forget to subscribe right here at Karpo Gaming. A little wide variety of videos range from updates, tips and tricks, guides and news, and a whole lot more. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you everybody for all your love and support. And as always, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Later.